Okay, let's kick off. Let's keep the ball rolling. All right. I believe everybody can see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Yes or no? Can you all see my screen? Let me know if you all can see my screen. Okay. Someone is saying advice for digital world. The previous lecture is not sharp. Send me a DM. Let's talk about it when we get to question and answer section. Don't worry, it's your own. The video is sharp, but you did not set the quality from your own end. That's what will be the problem. They did not send the video quality from your own end. All right, no problem. So we will get to that in the question and answer section. All right, no time to waste time. So what we're going to do today is I want to use this opportunity to officially welcome you to the Ultimate Excel webinar brought to you by Digital World Tech Academy. Someone is actually writing on my screen. Well done. Let me clear it, so don't worry. All right, so let's talk about it. So today we're going to focus on mastering Excel, that is having the knowledge, unlock opportunity, and build income. So that's what we're going to talk about. A lot of people actually want to make money online. So when you hear people say, oh, I want to make money online, there are actually various ways of making money online, right? But the very first thing is you need to know what you are selling, right? So if you are selling shoe, you need to have knowledge about shoes. So if I ask you a question about shoe, you must have it on your head, right? To tell me one or two things about it if you want to sell shoe. If you want to sell wristwatch, you must have knowledge about wristwatch. So you want to make money online too, you must have a knowledge, right? You must have something you want to sell to people, right? The difference now is you don't need to get a store, right? Now you are running Facebook ads, Google ads, right? Different things, different platform, using Udemy, becoming a freelancer, right? But the very first thing is you must have the knowledge first, right? So that is what we're going to talk about today. Mastering Excel, that is having the knowledge first, then after that, unlocking the opportunity in that knowledge. So the purpose of learning things is to make money with it. We don't actually learn for the fun of it, right? So we learn because we want to make money with it, right? So learning it, then unlocking the opportunity inside what you've learned, then build income with it, right? So all these things are what we are going to talk about in today's class. So like I just play with word here, excel your way into the digital economy. All right, so let's move forward. Who is this guy talking to you, right? Who am I? Right? So my name is Akim Abiodun, right? I'm a computer instructor. I train people, right, on a normal day. So I train people for different courses, right? I train data analysis, data science, different things, business analysis, project management. All those things are what I train, right? And I'm also a data scientist. I take projects from other people to work on it. I'm also a digital marketer, so I know how to run Facebook ads very well. I build landing pages. I build websites with content management system that we call WordPress. And most of this, the one that gives me the money is freelancing, right? So I'm a freelancer. I use Upwork. Sometimes I use Fiverr, not actually every time, but I use Upwork more than I use Fiverr, not actually every time. But we're going to talk about the two today, right? And I work with Digital World Tech Academy. I'm a partner at Digital World Tech Academy. My partners and I, we set up Digital World Tech Academy. And at Digital World Tech Academy, we've been able to train more than 15,000 students last year, both online and offline. So we do online training and we do physical training. So online training like this one is live on Zoom, right? We offer online training most of the time Friday and Saturday, or sometimes Sunday, Monday. We have some Tuesday and Thursday, different days, right, that we offer online training. Then we also do physical training at our different branches. So we have 3 different branches in Ikorodu where we train people physically. And we go to people's organization to train them. And we train different tech courses on Microsoft Office packages, data analysis, cybersecurity, web design and web development, digital marketing, different things. And last year, in 2024, we were able to train over 3,000 students physically and more than 10,000 online and 5 organizations. That is just a bit of introduction. If you want to know more about me, we'll talk about it in the question and answer section. So about Digital World Tech Academy, so if you're looking for me here, this is me right here with my face cap and my polo, right? So about the institute and some of my team members, I forgot to talk about that. About the institute, Digital World is an online and physical learning platform with the aim of making the tech skill affordable and accessible for everyone. And our mission is to make computer education very accessible and affordable to Nigerians and Africa in general. That is what we do. All right. So we're going to talk more about Digital World when we get to the question and answer section. Just zoom up. All right. So let's move forward. Right. Let's get into the business of today. So if you are in my class, I need you to get two things ready. The very first thing is to get your pen and a jotter, right? Because you're going to learn, you are going to laugh. I play a lot when I'm in class, right? So some of my students, let me know, do I have any of my students here? Is this your first time meeting me? If you've been in my class, you know I play a lot. If this is your first time meeting me, just write first time. If you are one of my students, just type in students. I'm waiting. Let me know if I have my student here. If I have my student here, they know. Okay, if you are a student of Digital World, I'm waiting. First time. Wow. So none of my, so we don't have any of my students here. All right, no problem. Let's move forward. So if you're in my class to play a lot, so I need you to get pen and jotter, right? So that you are going to jot things down. You get yourself a pen and a jotter. If you don't have one, just send me a DM. I can send you a virtual jotter. Yeah, I'm your student. Wow, finally I have one. So I can send you a virtual jotter and a pen that you can use to jot, right? Well, you can also jot on your phone. Cool, right? Okay. Just send me a DM, I'll send you. Another thing is to get yourself a bottle of water because we are going to learn, we are going to laugh, we are going to play, right? That is how we learn. That is how we roll at Digital World. So it's not just about learning. There should be time to play. All right. That is great. So what is data analysis? Let's start from there. Let's start from somewhere, right? What is data analysis? So now let's take it. Data analysis is the process of examining, organizing, transforming, and interpreting raw data, right? Let's take it again. Data analysis is the process of examining, organizing, transforming, and interpreting what? Raw data to extract meaningful insights, identify patterns, and support decision making. So now let's break it down. So data analysis actually involves range of techniques, tools, right? On the type, that means all those tools depend on the type and complexity of the goal, that is of the data and the goal as well, right? Because as an analyst, you must have something you want to achieve, right? Maybe you want to build visualization, or you just want to get insight from the data, or you just want to do cleaning. You must have something you want to do with the data, right? So all those things are what we determine the software to use, the tools to use, right? So maybe you need to write code or you don't want to write code. So all those things are what we determine it. So now let's break it down. I said here, data analysis is the process of examining. Now, the very first time you get your data, the first thing you have to do is to examine your data. You need to know the type of data you are dealing with. I always say this. The very first thing you have to do is to look at your data. Which type of data am I dealing with? Is this a sales data? Is it a retail data? Does it relate to medical field? Is it a chemical data? All those things are what you have to look at, right? So most of the time you ended up jotting things down, right? So after knowing the type of data you want to use, you're working with, the next thing is to know the type of software you want to use. Now we have to tell ourselves the truth. It's not all data that we can use Excel to do, right? It's not all data. So Excel can only take a little bit above 1 million. So by the time we have 1,100,000, Excel cannot do it. By the time we have 1,500,000, Excel cannot do it, right? So all those things are what you have to look out for. So the next thing is, this software can help me to achieve what I want to do. So if you want to deal with data cleaning, you can use Excel to do data cleaning. But for me, I use what we call Power Query to do data cleaning, or I can take it to SQL to clean my data, or I use Python to clean my data, right? You need to know the software that will help you to achieve what you want to achieve, right? The next thing is to know the insight you want to get. What do I actually want to get as a result from this data? So do I need to build visualization? Do I just want to clean the data, right? If you want to clean the data, what are the things you need to do? So maybe I want to remove null value. I want to remove regular expression. So if I talk about regular expression are all these dollar sign, the asterisk sign, different sign, right? They are called the dollar, they are called the regular expression. The comma, underscore, all those things are what we call the regular expression, right? Do I want to remove all those regular expressions? So if you are going into Python, we call it regex. It's the same thing as regular expression. It's just a short form, right? So it's just like an abbreviation. So regex, regular expression, right? After knowing the tools that you want to use, then you already know what you want to do with the data. The next thing is organizing your data. Organizing your data. Now, we should know that our data will not come from one source, right? If you are working with an organization, they will have different departments, right? We have the sales department, we have the retail department, we have the HR department, we have finance department, right? All these departments are going to give you their data. It's now your job to organize data. So in Excel, we use what we call VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP to merge data together. That is, to join data together, right? So if you are using Power Query, we use what we call merging, right? So we use merging. If it is in Power BI, we use what we call lookup value or related to merge data together. So if you are using SQL, we use what we call join to join the data together. Then if you are going into Python, that is using pandas in Python, we use what we call merge to join data together. That is all the data from different departments. Now you are merging it up together to form what we call a master data. Are you getting it? A master data is the data that contains all the information from different branches. So you have all the information from different branches in just one sheet, right? That is in one place. For those of us that don't know what sheet is all about, we are going to talk about it in a bit. So you have the data from different branches, all the data that is coming from the sales department, from the HR department, from the finance department. You put all of them together in one place. That is what we call master data. Do you understand? That is the process of organizing your data, right? You are joining your data together. Then after that, we have transforming your data. So transforming data is what we call data cleaning, right? You can either call it data cleaning or you call it data wrangling or data transformation. So now you are cleaning your data. As an analyst, you should always know that it's not every time, like almost out of 100 data sets, maybe it's only one or two that will come clean, right? So almost all your data, you have to clean them, right? So if you might not be doing major cleaning, it might just be extracting dates, right? It might just be filling in missing value. You understand? So all those missing value, maybe they did not put information here, they did not put another information here. You are just filling all those missing value, right? You are just filling all those missing value. That's what we call data cleaning. So data cleaning might be changing data types, right? You know, we have different type of data. So we have different data types. For instance, we have what we call string, and we have another one called integer. There's another one called float. Those are three major data types that as a beginner you need to do. So string talk about text, right? So anything that you type as a text, right? It is what we call string data type. Another one is integer, which is numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. All those ones are what we call integer. Another one is float, right? All those ones that have decimal. Do you understand? So you are changing data types. So there are some times whereby a string, that is an integer, is recognized as a string. Do you understand? Maybe the person that is doing the data entry made a mistake. So it's entered a string, a number as a string. Do you understand? You as an analyst, you are the one that will change it from string, which is text, back to number, because Excel will not understand it. Do you understand it now? So after that, interpreting raw data. So after your data is clean, that is when you can generate a meaningful insight from your data, right? That is the only time you can generate a meaningful insight from your data. If your data is not clean, there's no way you'll be able to generate a meaningful insight. So maybe you want to build dashboard, which we call visualization, right? So a visualization is basically a graphical representation of your data. Do you understand it now? Now, do we all know what data analysis is all about? Do we all know what data analysis is all about? Yes or no? Let me know if you all know what data analysis is all about before we go into the type. So at least if you don't get anything today, I want you to understand what data analysis is all about. All right, that is great. So now let's talk about types of data analysis. Types of data analysis. What are the types of data analysis? Let's talk about types, right? So we have 4 different types of data analysis, but actually, a lot of people only talk about 3. A lot of people, they talk about 3, but basically we have 4, right? So which are descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, predictive analysis, and prescriptive analysis, right? Those are the 4 types of data analysis. So we have descriptive. So descriptive basically talking about historical data. What has happened in the past? You are describing what has happened in the past, right? You are generating insights from what has happened in the past. Do you understand? You are generating insights from what has happened in the past. So let's say you have 5 years data set, 4 years data set, 10 years data set. You are analyzing it. You are bringing out insights from what has happened in the past. And most of the time, that is what we always work on as an analyst, right? You are extracting information from what has happened in the past, right? From your historical data sets. That is an example of, that is a descriptive analysis, right? Descriptive analysis summarizes past data to understand what has happened over a period of. Sorry for that. Let's go back. It's network. All right, can everybody hear me now? Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. All right. So I just explained descriptive analysis. That is, descriptive analysis focus on what has happened in the past, right? It focuses on what has happened in the past. That is what descriptive analysis talk about. Now, the next thing is what we call diagnostic analysis, right? Diagnostic analysis. So what diagnostic analysis focus on is going deeper to find out the reason behind the past outcome. So for instance, descriptive analysis focus on, okay, what is our total sales for the last 2 years? What is our total revenue for the last 2 years? Or for the past 2 months? Or for the past 3 months, right? So now, what diagnostic analysis focus more on is to dig in deeper and find out the reason behind the past outcome. Now, we are not making sales. Why are we not making sales? That is an example of diagnostic analysis, whereby you are going in deeper to find out the reason behind a certain event, right? So most of the time, we give what we call recommendation analysis report, right? That is diagnostic analysis, to go in deeper to find out the reason behind a certain event. Okay, the next thing is what we call predictive analysis. Predictive analysis. What predictive analysis focus on is using historical data to predict the future. Now, you are using historical data, what has happened in the past, to predict what will happen in the future. Do you understand? Now, because let's say you don't know anything about me, right? You don't know how much I receive on weekly basis. You don't know how much I receive on monthly basis, right? Now, I just ask you a question now. Let's say, okay, now, can you predict how much I will receive in the next 2 months? Is that possible? So I just asked you. You don't know anything about me, right? Now, can I ask you that, okay, I just asked you, predict the amount that I will receive in the next 2 months. Is this something you can do? Let me know. Can anybody do it here? Can you try? Right? Can you try? So just predict the amount that I will receive in the next 2 months. Can anybody give it a try? I'm waiting. Let's talk now. Are we sleeping? Wake up. 200, What is 200K? 150K, God forbid. 200K, per month. No, God forbid. God forbid. How will I receive 200K in 1 month? It's too small now. All right. Now, you don't know how much I receive on weekly basis, right? And you don't know how much I receive on monthly basis. So from my freelancing alone, that money is nothing, right? 200K is nothing. Now, but predictive analysis use what we call historical data. The same thing with machine, right? So if you are doing forecasting, the very first thing is you need to load the past data. That is what is going to use to predict the future, right? That is what we call predictive analysis, using historical data to predict what will happen in the future, right? Now, for instance, let's say machine has predicted that, okay, every month we are going to be selling 50,000 pieces of our product, right? Now, the machine has done its part. It has predicted based on the past data. Now, the last one is prescriptive analysis. What prescriptive analysis is talking about is the actionable step that will enable me to achieve what machine has already predicted for me. So the machine has already predicted that, okay, in the next 2-3 months, we are going to be selling over 50,000 pieces of our product, right? So the next thing is prescriptive analysis. What are the actionable steps, right? What should I do to help to enable me achieve what machine has already predicted for me? That's what we call prescriptive analysis. That's what we call what? Prescriptive analysis. All right, do you understand types of data analysis now? Yes or no? Are you still here? Are you still here? All right. That is great. That is great. That is great. That is great. Okay, nice one. All right, that's great. We are moving. We are going somewhere. All right, the next thing is, you notice I'm sweating. You know I'm black, right? You know that I'm very dark. Now, if you look at the light they are putting in my face for you to see me, the light is eating me. So that's why I'm sweating. Black beauty. Okay, that is great. Let's move forward. Then I'll do it for you. All right, now let's talk about tools used by an analyst, right? What are the tools used by an analyst? If you are too black, that is also another part of it. If you are too black, by the time you are creating content, before you finish creating your content, you'll be sweating. Inside AC, you'll be sweating. The light will be too much, just so that they will see you. Okay, no problem. Let's move forward to the next thing, which is tools used by an analyst. What are the tools used by an analyst? So let's talk about the very first one. I love using Microsoft Excel. Even till today, I'm still getting, most of my projects are always on Microsoft Excel. Most of my projects that I got from my freelancing platform, they are always on Microsoft Excel. right? And the tools that has made me most money is Microsoft Excel, right? Is Microsoft Excel. We are going to talk about that. Now, the very first tool we want to talk about today is Microsoft Excel, right? Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel is most popular for beginners. If you are beginners, it's very, very good. And also, if you are professionals, it's also very, very good. It's a tools that most professionals use, most organizations, that's where they store their information. They use Microsoft Excel more, right? So now Excel is powerful, easy to use, and perfect for data analysis. Why do I say perfect? If you want to do your data cleaning, you can use Excel. You want to do your data organizing, you want to organize your data, you use Excel because there are tools there are formulas there. You want to do cleaning, you want to clean your data, you can use Excel. You want to build visualization, you can use Excel. Whatever you want to do, you can use Excel to do it, right? But there are limitations. But before you can even get to that limitation, the limitation is you can't use over a million if your data is above 1.1 million, right? That's 1,048,000. So if it is over 1,048,000, let's say 1,050,000, then you can't use Excel. That is the only limitation. But apart from that, you can use Excel to do almost everything, right? Another thing is there is coding aspect of Excel, which most people don't know. We call it VBA, Visual Basic for Application, which we use to do our automation. So if you notice that you always repeat a task, right? You always repeat a task. So you can write a VBA code that can just help you to be doing it, that you just put it as a button. The moment you click on that ribbon, it's going to help you do that, right? So there is coding aspect, but that is advanced Excel. We are not going there today, but I'm just going to show you some things on it, but we are not going there, right? But there is coding aspect of Excel. There is non-coding aspect, and the non-coding aspect is very, very wide. It's very, very big, right? But we'll talk about it more when we get into Excel now. Another thing is structured query language, which we call SQL. SQL is basically code, is basic code, not some hard code. No, it's basic code, right? So SQL is used to manage large database, right? So you use it to query database. So if I say query, how can I put query to you? Query is just like sending a request to the database. Do you understand? So some people order shoes now, and their information goes to our database. So I will send a request to the server that, okay, oh, give me all the people that order shoe today, right? That is a query. Do you understand? So if I tell you that, okay, I'm querying a database, that means I'm sending a request to a database for me to get a certain information. Do you understand? So we use SQL to manage and interact with databases. Another thing is what we call Power BI. So Power Business Intelligence. That is what BI stands for. Power Business Intelligence. So we have different business intelligence tools. And what business intelligence tools are used for is basically we use Power BI to do visualization, right? So we use Power BI to do visualization. Do you understand? So it is also used by business analysts. So we use it in business analysis too, right? That's why if you come to me that you want to learn business analysis, my advice is go and learn Power BI first, then come back. Do you understand? So we use it for business analysis, but most of the things that we use it for is visualization and creating modeling between our data. So if I say data modeling, it means creating relationship between multiple data, right? So you have a data set here, you have another one here, you have another one here. So you model everything together. That is, you connect data A to data B to data C. That is what we call data modeling. So we call it creating relationships. Do you understand? Another one is what we call Python. Python is basically a programming language. It is used by a data scientist and also a web developer. And we also use it to build artificial intelligence. Like if you are writing machine learning, in fact, all artificial intelligence, they use what we call machine learning. Do you understand? They use what we call machine learning. Do you get it now? So now, but with libraries like Pandas and Matplotlib, it makes your analysis so easy. So Pandas is like Excel on its own. So Pandas is like Excel on its own. Whatever you can do in Excel, you can also do it with Pandas. But now, in Excel, we have ribbons. I'm going to show you when we get there. When we get into Excel now, I will open my Excel to be explaining some things to you. So we have ribbons in Excel. But in Pandas, that is the one in Python, there is no ribbon. You are writing your code yourself. That is the difference. But you want to clean data, you can write code, I'll do that. You want to do VLOOKUP, you want to merge data together, you can write code, I'll do that. There's even pivot table also in Pandas, right? But now the one in Pandas is you don't have a ribbon, you don't have a button that can do it for you. You have to write it yourself, right? Should I give you the code? If you want to use Pandas to create pivot table, do you want me to give you the code? Would you like to go to get the code? Right? Would you like to get the code? You want to get the code? All right, I'm going to call it. So let's say our data frame name is sales. So it's going to be sales.pivot_table. So in a bracket, you have index, you have columns, you have values, right? And you have the aggregate function. Don't worry. We are not writing code. Don't be scared. Well, you won't understand it. But don't worry. When we get there, we'll talk about it. But we are not writing code today. But it's just your data frame name, df.pivot_table. Then in brackets, you're passing your index. Index start as rows, right? You know, in your pivot table, you have the rows, you have the columns, you have the values, right? So you have index, we serve as the rows, you have columns, right? You have what we call the values. Then you have the aggregate function. Maybe you want to use sum, you want to use count, you want to use standard deviation, average, all those ones. But it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. But don't worry, it's just a piece of code that is so sweet. I love working with Pandas very well. But the one that I love the most is Microsoft Excel, because I don't need to write any code if I'm doing pivot table in Microsoft Excel. The only time that I write code in Microsoft Excel is if I'm writing VBA. All right, have you learned anything about data analysis now? Before we go into what Microsoft Excel is all about, are you enjoying yourself? Hope you are not scared of my code and code and code and code. Don't worry, very soon you become a pro. You become a pro, don't worry. No, I'm not scattering your head. No, coding is simple. Is very, very I'm going too fast. Don't worry. Coding is very, very sweet. It's very, very sweet. But it becomes complex when we are doing complex things, right? But it's too sweet, especially if you are doing analysis. Coding is very sweet. But doing Microsoft Excel also is very, very sweet. It's sweet to work with Microsoft Excel because you are not writing any code. All right. Let's go into what Microsoft Excel is. So for this, I'm going to open my almighty Office 365, Microsoft Excel, which is my workbook. I'm going to click on blank workbook. Oh, sorry. Let me quickly take that again. Let me take that again before you say I'm too fast now. So I have my Excel on my tabs here. You can see it's pinned down here. Most of the things that are pinned down here, they are very, very important, like my WhatsApp. But you see these PowerPoints, Chrome, all those other ones, they are not pinned there. They are not that important to me. Let me open my Excel. So I just open my Excel. So if you're working with Excel for the very first time, it's going to bring you to this home page, right? This is like the welcome page. Good evening, everyone. If you're in the morning, it's going to say good morning. If you're in the afternoon, good afternoon, right? So you're going to see it right here. So we are in the evening, it's greeting all of us. Excel is greeting you. Good evening, everyone. All right, so here we have blank workbook. So this is what we are going to click on. We are not talking about all these templates. We are not using templates. So I love working from blank workbook. So I just click on blank. Okay, this is Excel. All right, let me go back to my slide and do small, you understand? You understand? All right. It seems your connection is not stable. Is that correct? Someone said my voice is breaking. Someone said my voice is breaking. Is that correct? Don't worry. When we get to the question and answer section, I will answer all your questions. Someone said my voice is breaking. Let me know. You can hear me. Mr. Yakubu, I think it's your network too. Check your network, please. Because right here on my screen, it's not showing me anything about my network. Yes, is that correct? It is okay. All right. So please check your network, check your network, check your network. Very clear from your end. All right, all right. That is great. It's breaking. I think it's your network. Check your network. Okay, my voice is not shaking. That's great. All right, so you should check your network too. Okay, so now let's talk about what Microsoft Excel is all about. What exactly is Microsoft Excel? Yeah, it's a live class now. You are seeing me live. Is this the live class for 25th of June? Yes, this is the live class. All right, so what exactly is Microsoft Excel? Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program, right, used to record and analyze numerical and statistical data sets. So Microsoft Excel provides multiple features to perform various operations like calculation. So you want to do your basic calculation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, right? So let me zoom in so that you can see my screen. So in Excel, whenever you want to do calculation, so let's say I want to multiply 25 here, and I want to multiply it by 50 here. So it's going to be equals to this cell multiplied by this one. Then press enter. You can see it's going to do it for me. Do you understand? You can do addition, do multiplication, do subtraction, all those ones. They are there, right? They are what you can do with Microsoft Excel. Another thing is you can use pivot tables. Don't worry, we are going to retake it. I'm not in the practical section. When we get to practical section, we'll talk about it. Pivot table, graph tools, macro programming. So macro programming is what we use in VBA. Macros, if I say I'm dealing with macros, right? I'm dealing with macros. So macros is like recording a task. So it's going to give you a VBA code, automatically write the VBA code for you to be able to automate your tasks, right? So an Excel spreadsheet can be understood as the collections of columns and rows that forms what? A table. Alphabetical letters are usually assigned to columns, while numbers are for the row. The point where column and row meet is called a cell, and the address of a cell is given by letter representing the columns and numbers representing the row. Now, let me go back to my Excel to explain this. Don't forget, I said an Excel spreadsheet can be understood as collections of columns and rows that forms a table. Alphabetical letters are usually assigned to what? The columns, while numbers are for the row. And the point where row and column meet is called a cell. Now, let's go to my Excel. This is Excel. For those of you that said I should take it again, so here, I just say, whenever you want to do any calculation in Excel, you have to start with equals to, then this multiplied by this, press enter. You can see it's going to do it for you, but we are not there yet. All right, so now we have Excel spreadsheets. Why do we call it spreadsheets? That's because, if you are in PowerPoint, like this one now, if you are using PowerPoint, we call what you see here, we call it slide, right? You work with slide in PowerPoint. In Microsoft Word, we work with docs, that is documents, right? We work with pages. So in Excel here now, we work with sheets. That is why we call it spreadsheet or worksheets. Now, we said an Excel spreadsheet is, we have columns and rows that forms a table. Then the alphabetical letters are usually assigned what? To the columns. So if you look at this, we have the alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E. So here now, because they are assigned to column, so we can call this column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, column F, till the end. We have over 16,000 columns. And the numbers are for what? The rows. So we have row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. We have 1,048,576 rows. If I can still remember, let me scroll down to the end. Yes, I still remember. 1,048,576 rows. That is where Excel one sheet end, right? So which means if you actually finish this sheet, you can come here and click on this plus to open a new sheet, right? Which will give you another 1 million rows. Do you get it now? So you can actually do that. And I said, the point where row and column meet is called a cell. Now, we have the intersection of rows and column. This is column A, this is row 1. So this place that the board meet is called a cell. Each of these boxes here, now you can see each of these boxes here, they are called a cell. And how do we reference a cell? We reference a cell by calling the column and the row. So for instance, if I'm in this cell here, this cell that you see here, because I'm in column A, row 1, so we'll call this cell A1. Do you understand? We call it cell A1. So if I move down to this place now, I'm in column B, row 6. This is called B6. So if I move to this place, this is column C, row 3. So I call this place cell C3, right? So let me move down here. So I'm in column E, row 12. So we call it what? E12. So who can guess? Which cell am I now? Guess. Which cell is this? Can you guess? Let me see our professional analysts. Who are the professional analysts? Let me see. Can you guess? Which cell am I? Which cell am I? I'm waiting though. My people, are you here? G7. Is that correct? Cell G7. That's great. Clap for yourself, clap for yourself, clap for yourself. We are making progress, right? You are becoming an analyst. You are becoming what? An analyst. Clap for yourself now. Don't you believe? Thank you, Mr. Lawal. You should clap for yourself now. I don't like to work with people that don't believe. Oh. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. All right. Let's move forward. Now we have basic understanding of what Microsoft Excel is. Now let's talk about businesses that use Microsoft Excel, companies that use Microsoft Excel. And how do I get to know? Some of them I've worked with them before as a freelancer. Some of them I've had a student that work with them. Right, that's how I got to know. So the very first company that I'll talk about is Amazon, right? Amazon use Microsoft Excel, right? Now, how do I get to know that Amazon use Microsoft Excel? I have 3 students that work with Amazon, and the only thing that links us together is Excel. We all started from Excel, right? Later, I took them Power BI, then to SQL, then to Python. But the very first thing that our point of contact is Microsoft Excel. So they messaged me that they want to learn Microsoft Excel, right? And they work with Amazon. They are Nigerians, but not based in Nigeria, right? I think one of them is Ghanaians. I don't know. I can't remember again. It's been a while. But they are working with Amazon. That is what links us together, right? The next thing is Signal, right? This Signal, I've gotten a project as a freelancer, right? I've gotten a project from one of their staff before to do, I think I cleaned, did I build visualization or I did data cleaning? I can't remember. It's been, I think last year that I work on one of their data sets, and they basically tell me to use Excel. Deloitte, I have one female student that worked with them, just one female student that worked with them. Intel, right? Another one is JP Morgan's, Microsoft itself. I've not gotten any project from Microsoft, right? But actually, Microsoft developed Excel, right? So what do we expect them to use? Excel, right? We have Morgan Stanley, we have PayPal, we have Tesla, we have United States Bank. Someone is saying network is bad. Is that correct? Is that correct? How is my network doing? Can you all hear me? Yes or no? If you all can hear me, say yeah. All right. Can you all hear me? Yes or no? We have someone that says no. Is that correct? It's breaking. Probably it's your own network. I can't see anything from my end. Right? My network is okay here. I think it's your own network. Check your network, please. Okay, so let's talk about Microsoft Excel terminologies. It breaks sometimes. Okay, probably it's the network. Yes, it's the network, obviously. I said probably. Okay, let's talk about Microsoft Excel terminologies, right? What are the terminologies? So if you are joining and you are being connected and you are disconnected, connected, disconnected, it's your own network. That's not from my end. So it's your own network. Okay, that's great. Now, let's talk about basic terminologies. Microsoft Excel basic terminologies. Now, the very first thing is what we call a cell. A cell. A cell. So a cell is the intersection of rows and columns. That's where both row and column meet, right? And I've explained that to you earlier, right? Each of these boxes that you see on Excel is called what? A cell. Each of these boxes that you see on Excel is called a cell. So it's the intersection between the rows and what? The columns. All right. Let's move forward to the next thing, which is what we call range. Range. So a range is simply any collection of cells. Now, if I come here to Excel and I select just one box like this, one box here is called a cell. But by the time it's going into 2, 3, 4 like this, it becomes a range. Do you understand? It becomes what? A range. So a range is a group of cells. So we can either call it range or an array. Do you understand? It's a group of cells. So if you have one cell, we call it a cell. But by the time it becomes 2, 3, 4, right? It becomes what? A range. It becomes a range. So a range or an array is a group of cells. Do you understand? A range or an array is a group of cells. Another thing is what we call worksheet. So that is where Excel store your data. Remember, I said you can either call it spreadsheet or worksheet. So this is where your data is stored. Let's say you store your text, right? You store your number, right? You store your regular expression. All these ones, they are called regular expression. So all these places that you store, that is the worksheet, is where your data is stored, right? And you can open as many worksheets as possible. This basically depends on your laptop storage, right? It depends on your laptop storage. Okay, let's move forward to the next thing. Let me just clear up this because we're going to use it in a bit. All right, let's move on to the next thing, which is workbook, right? A workbook is another name for Excel file. Is another name for Excel file. So the moment you type whatever you want to do inside the cell and you save, you go to file, then you save, right? You go to file, then you save. Then what? It becomes a workbook. We don't call it worksheet again. It becomes what? A workbook. For instance, if you look, you can see right here, I have different Excel workbook here, right? I have different Excel workbook right here. Now I have one unfinished project. I just give different name. How will I name something unfinished? That's because I've not finished it. Okay, and I forgot. All right, so all these ones I see here is what we call Excel workbook, right? We call it Excel workbook. Okay, after workbook, we have another thing that we call what? Ribbons. Ribbons are the tools that we work with. So they are the graphical menu interface for command we perform. So for instance, if you go into Excel, all these things that you see up here, we call them ribbons, right? So this one cut, copy, format, painter, paste. They are ribbons. All these things that you see right here, they are called the ribbons. So bold, italic, underline, right? They are called ribbons. Do you understand? And up here, all these things that you see up here, they are called tabs. and each tab have their own ribbons, right? Each tab, they have their own what? Ribbons. So if you look at this, you're not going to have this CGPA calculator because this is a VBA code that I did, is a project that I did for an organization. So you are not going to have it. But from this help, developer, automate, if you are using the latest Excel, you are going to have them. So each tab, they have their own what? Ribbons. So we call them ribbons. So it's just like if you are going to farm, you take your cutlass, your basket, your rake, everything. No, I was a farmer. So you took everything, then you go to the farm, right? So it's the same thing with Excel. If you are working with Excel, then you don't carry anything. You carry your laptop. You open your Excel, then you have your ribbons here. These are the tools that we work with in Excel. So the tools, we call them ribbons. Do you understand? Apart from ribbon, we have another one that we call functions, right? A function is a group of formula that perform similar tasks. That is, that perform similar tasks. A function is a group of formulas that perform what? Similar tasks. So if I go to Excel now, if I write in two different functions, so today, if I say equals to, let's say I want to get today's date, and I say equals to today, this is one formula, right? This today now is one formula that will give us today's date, right? So if I want to get today's date and time, so I can say equals to now, right? Equals to now, open and close bracket. Now, this gives me date and time, right? So if you have multiple formula that perform similar tasks, they all work on date, on time, then they are grouped together and called a function. Do you understand? They are grouped together and called what? A function. So we have a lot of them right here in these formula tabs. We have a lot of them here. We have the financial functions, which contain different financial formulas. We have logical functions, which contain different logical formulas. So an example of logical formula, I love using logical formula, right? I love using logical formula. Let's say this is our score. So let me just use one small logical formula. Do you give me that? Will you permit me to do that? Will you permit me to do that? Should I go ahead? Yes or no? Should I go ahead and teach you logical formula? Okay, so I'm going to use if. Okay, thank you very much. That means you are still here with me. All right. So let's go. So let's say this is your score, and we want to write this is your score, and we want to write if you pass or fail. So the average mark is 50. So we use the logical formula. So I just say to check a logic, right? So I just say equals to if, right? If your score is greater or equals to 50, what do we write? If you score greater than or equals to 50, then pass. You pass. If you don't pass, then what? If you don't pass, you do what should we give the person that does not pass? Hmm? Is it Olodo? Fail. Is it fail? Right? Fail. Okay. You are the person. It's all of you that agree now that we should give them fail. Now, whose score is this? This is not my own score. It's for you. It's not my own score. It's for you. But now let's see the results. So if I press enter, what do you think? It's not my score. It's for you. So you can see it failed, right? But now let me write my score. My score is 98. I scored 98 over 100. So if I press enter now, pass. Do you understand? So something like this is a logical function, right? A logical function is part of logical function. There are more logic that we can do, right? We have a lot of logical function that we can work with. Do you understand? So a group of formula that perform similar tasks is called what? Logical, is called what? Function, not logical function. Sorry. A group of formulas that perform similar tasks is called what? A function. All right. Okay. Let's go a little bit into advanced Excel. Before we go into advanced Excel, don't worry, Just jot it down. In the question and answer section, I'm going to answer you. We are going to do a lot. We have not gotten to the practical. Are you learning something? Are you learning? Let me know if you are learning. You can see that I love working with Excel. I play a lot when I'm working with Excel. And okay, thank you. I should repeat the formula. Okay, let me do it once again. You are going to pay me for doing it. Oh. You are going to pay me. A lot of people have to say, re-enter the formula, re-enter the formula. But you are going to pay me. Do you all agree on that? Give me your score now. What do you score? Dynamic Computer College. What do you score? Give me your score. Or someone can actually help him. Oh. 87 is a lie. Why do you score 87? Okay, let's say 67. Oh, sorry. Let's say 87. Someone said 07. Okay, 87. This is your score. Let's just write it here. Now we can actually take it more complex, right? You can write what we call nested if, but because of our time, we won't go into that. So I can say, okay, equals to if, right? This is greater or equals to, oh my God, Nigeria. Nigeria will show you what your eyes will not tell you. Okay, if this is greater than or equals to what? Thank God that my laptop is not television. If not, we'll have just if your score is greater than or equals to, what should we say? Let's say 80, right? So in double quotes, we want to write very good. Look at this. This is another one, right? Double quotes, comma. I want to make it a little bit complex. If your score, that is another if. I should come to Ghana. I wanted to come to Ghana last year, my partner and I. We were planning to go to Ghana last year, but there was we were trying to work on our other branches, so there was no time. But don't worry, this year we are coming. We are coming to open a branch in Ghana. You'll be our representative. So, so if score is greater than, let's say 50 now, right? Comma, in double quotes, let's say let's now use pass here, right? Else, no, you see my face now. Else, then let's say fail. Now you see, this one will do another thing. Yes, you must. It's a must. So this one will do another thing. So I'll close my bracket twice because I have two brackets open. So if I press enter now, you can see this one says very good. But if we check our formula here, I said if the score is 60, then you should write pass. Above 50 and above, you should write pass. Else, you should write fail. So if your score is not up to 80, let's say it's 65, it's going to give you pass. If it is 32 now or 35, then it's going to give you fail. Now, this is an example of a logical formula, right? You don't understand anything. Don't worry. We are just playing. This is just testing. We're just testing. We are testing here, testing here. It's just like, if you want to speak with microphone, you say testing microphone. You are testing microphone. So we are testing Excel. Okay, let's go into advanced Excel. All these ones are basic, don't worry. They are something you know, and you just be using it like, you just be playing with it. Very simple. All right, thank God. So let's go into advanced Excel. So if we're going into advanced Excel, we have something that we call table, right? We have what we call table. So a table shows a relationship between your data. Wow, you can see me. I'm not coming to Ghana again. Thank God I have my generator close. I'm using my phone. All right. Okay, we have a table, right? You want to follow me? You can't follow me, you just calm down. Don't worry. So we have what we call a table, right? So a table is a container for your data. So, if you have information right here, and I say, okay, my name is Akim, and here, Abiodun, that's my name. I have two things here in different cells. So to Excel, this is different. This is also different. To Excel, Akim is different. Abiodun is also different. Now, for you to tell Excel that, okay, these two, they are related, you have to put it in something called a table, right? We put it in a table. So you can either use a keyboard shortcut, Control-T, to put it in a table, or you go to Insert, then you have your table right here. Do you understand? So a table shows relationship between our data. That's what tells Excel that, okay, all these data are related. Now, apart from table, we have another thing called pivot table that we're going to use in the practical section, right? So a pivot table is a powerful tool that helps us to calculate, summarize, and analyze our data, right? So we have like an AI tool inside pivot table that we call recommended pivot, right? Recommended pivot help us to just, the moment you load your data into Excel, into pivot table, and you just click on recommended pivot. So recommended pivot, what recommended pivot will do is it's going to bring out information from that table, from that thing that you put inside the pivot table. Don't worry. I know you might be looking like, what is Akim even saying? What am I even saying? Right? But don't worry, when we get there, I'll show you. Another thing is Power Query. I love Power Query. Power Query is basically used for cleaning. And for those of you that don't know there is Power Query in Excel, most people think Power Query is another app, right? No, it's a web app that it is stored inside Excel. If you don't have Excel, you won't have Power Query. If you don't have Power BI, you won't have Power Query. So because Power BI was developed by Microsoft, so we have Power Query inside Power BI. We also have Power Query inside Excel. So how do we get that? Where do we get that again? I know, if you go to data, if you go to data, this first two section here, it is what we call Power Query. This first two section, it is what we call Power Query. So the moment you load a data in, it's going to open up Power Query for you, right? It's going to open up Power Query for you. A Power Query will open another window entirely, but you cannot download Power Query. So it is inside Excel, or you see it inside Power BI. Do you understand? So basically, Power Query is used for cleaning the data, right? We call it ETL software. It extracts, transform, and load. Do you understand? It extracts the data from the source, transform it, then load it into Excel or Power BI. Okay, the last one I'm going to talk about is what we call macros and VBA. Macros and VBA, Visual Basic for Application, right? So it's a piece of code. That's where we write code in Excel, right? But you actually don't need it now. You need to have gone advanced. So you need to have finished Power BI, except Power BI. You need to have finished pivot table, Power Pivots, macros before you can start writing VBA code. It's just a piece of advice. I won't advise you to just start with writing VBA code. It's a little bit complex it's going to be a little bit complex if you start like that. So now, this thing I did here is a VBA code. Is a VBA code. Now, let me see if I can get the project. Though I'm not going to show you the information of the company, but here now, you can see this VBA, we calculate the first semester, the second semester, right? The third semester, the CGPA is going to do it for them. Now, if you now come here if you want to see the code, you go to developer, right? Now go to macros, then if I click on edit here now, you will see this is the VBA code, right? So here, this is where we write our VBA code. And now, how do we get here in the first place? How do we get here in the first place? Now, I'm going to actually close this, right? If you go to developer, right? Oh, I did another VBA, but I've not put it here. I recently did another project on VBA, but I did not put it here. Don't worry. In our next class, I'm going to show you. So now, if you want to open your VBA, let's say you just get a project, you're super excited, and you want to start writing code, straight up, how do you open it? So it's very simple. Just come to developer and click on VBA, that is Visual Basics. Here we are. Boom. And just we start writing. You might want to develop a user form, right? Or you want to develop a module. So for now, let's say I want to develop a module. So right click, insert module. Now you can see here, this is a module, right? This is where we start writing our sub, right? So you can start. I'm not teaching you code. You are not writing code. Don't let me give you edit. You are not writing code. Okay. All right. So that is how to write our VBA code, right? That is how to write VBA. That is where we write our VBA. Now, don't worry, we're still going to talk about that. That is that about that. VBA is used for automation, to automate our tasks and do a lot of other things. Okay, now we are done with Excel. The next thing is, how can I make money with this new skill? That's the next thing. So how many of us want us to go into this? Should we talk about it or we should be going home? Do you want us to talk about it or we should be going home? These lights, it's not good though. Maybe I'll just go and buy all this bleaching cream. So I will be using it. So that the next time you are seeing me like this, you don't even know, who is this person? Is this Akim? We should talk about it. Okay. Let's talk about it. Seems you are enjoying yourself. Oh. Are you enjoying yourself? That's the main cocoa. Are you enjoying yourself? All right. How many of us are enjoying ourselves? I don't have a girlfriend, so I want to have girlfriend in this class. Hmm? Who wants to be my Mr. Alex? No, 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 no. I'm not Bobrisky. No, I don't do that. What do you mean, Emmanuel? No. What do you mean? Who is dating Emmanuel? Okay, I should make you my girlfriend. No problem. Send me a DM. All right. Let's talk about how to make money, right? Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. When I come to Ghana, we'll just come for wedding. All right. Let's go into how to make money with Microsoft Excel. Now, there are actually three ways. So you don't understand. Don't worry. Don't worry. So there are actually three ways I used to make money with my Excel skill, right? There are actually three ways that I used to make money with my Excel skill. Now, the very first way, let's just read. Let's just read. It's good to read. Always read. Pick your book and read. So let's read. So you just unlock one of the most important, powerful digital skills out there. Microsoft Excel, which is Microsoft Excel. Sure. Right? Microsoft Excel isn't just for office work, right? It is the money-making, you see money-making tool hiding in plain sight. So whether you are looking to earn on a side, let's say you have a 9-to-5 job and you want to earn on a side, right? I'll start as a full-time business. I need to tell you something. When we started digital world, we did not have physical branch, right? We were doing it in our parlor, right? But how were we able to scale from just a business that starts in the parlor to different branches and having over 15,000 students online? That's because we focus more on making money online, right? If I can tell you, there's a lot of money online, but you need to actually open your mind up to learn, right? In freelancing, doing every other thing together, right? So and Excel is one of the things that gave us breakthrough, because actually very first course that Data World launched was Excel. I set up the ad myself. I did everything. Just like 40 videos just on Excel, and besides selling it, that was what started Digital World, just on Excel. I'm still going to get there. Now, let's talk about the very first one. The very first one, which is giving me money till today, right? And also still giving me money till tomorrow, till next year, because I'm not going to stop freelancing. It is freelancing. Freelancing. Now, it's so easy to get projects on freelancing. Very easy on freelancing platform. So for me, like I said earlier, I use Upwork and I use Fiverr. And there's what we call freelancer.com. There is people per hour. I have people that work on these two platforms, but for me, I never use it. I'm not going to lie. I've never used it. I use majorly Upwork and sometimes Fiverr if I get gigs on Fiverr, right? If I get gigs on Fiverr, I work on it. But most of my projects come from Upwork. Now, let me go into my Upwork account and show you. I'm not going to log into my Fiverr account, but this is my Upwork account, right? You can see my availability badge is off because I'm working on a project, right? You can see data analyst, expert in Excel. I put it first for you to know how much I love Excel. Excel is my new girlfriend. No, Excel has been my girlfriend since day one. It's not my new girlfriend again. I'm looking for a new girlfriend now. but Excel is my girlfriend, right? VBA, right? Power BI, SQL, and Python. And if you look at this place, I charge $15 per hour, right? I charge $15 per hour, right? So now let's go. That is not even the thing here. That is not even the thing. If you look at me here, I went to studio to go and snap. I don't really snap picture, but this picture, I had to go to studio. They forced me. But thank God it's giving me money today. That's what I use for my portfolio too. But let's come here now and go to, no, I want to come here. I'm not going to deliver work. So here I want to find work, right? If you go to find work, now if you look at this place, if you look at this place here now, you see a lot of work right here. This one is posted when? 41 minutes ago. And this is a fully remote job because this person is looking for more than 6 months, right? More than 6 months. So this person is ready to spend $10 to $15 per hour, right? $10 to $15 per hour. So you'll be working for 30 hours plus in a week, right? Basically less than 10 hours on daily basis. Less than 10 hours on daily basis, right? But you'll be working for like 30 hours in a week. Now, in a week, multiply 15 or 10. Let's say you get a good deal, you are able to negotiate, you are able to get for me, I don't charge anything lower than $15 because it's right there on my account, right? On my profile. So this means if I'm applying for this job now, I'm not applying. Who sent you? I'm not applying. So which means if I'm applying for this job now, I'll be taking $15 per hour and 30 hours plus in a week. So let's say on average, I'm spending 30 hours, right? If you multiply 15 times 30, right, that's the amount that I will be getting from just this one project on weekly basis. And this is saying more than 6 months. Now, another thing that I always tell my students to look out for, people that are using Upwork, I always tell them to look out for this payment verified and the amount the person has spent, right? So this person has spent over $20,000, right? Over $20,000 spent. So which means this person that the payment is verified can actually pay me, right? Can pay me. Now we have some clients whereby their payment, thank God, something like this, unverified, and this person has spent $0. This type of project, even if this person, you can see, this person is paying $40 to $75. That means you don't know how to apply. $40 to $75 per hour, right? $40 to $75 per hour. If you look at it, $40 to $75 per hour. Now, if this person is paying $40 to $75 per hour, I don't apply for this type of job, right? Because the payment is unverified. You might end up doing the work and the person will not pay you. Do you understand? Because this one that says payment unverified, it means the person has not verified his or her payment, right? His or her payment. So which means the person cannot pay you. If you like, go and do it. If you like, spend 100 hours. The person will not pay you because the payment is unverified, right? So I don't apply for this type of job. Another thing, all these people that have spent less money, sometimes, let's say I'm looking for a project, I can just apply for them, but not every time. But not every time, right? You can see a whole lot of projects here. Now, one thing I always tell my students is, for those of you that are just getting started, you don't have to start looking for data analysis, remote jobs, or things like that. You can start with data entry, right? You will see, I recently searched for data entry job, forecasting job, WordPress, because I build websites, right? Landing page WordPress, data entry with Excel, right? All these things are what I search for, right? So data entry. Now, if you search for data entry, now they are going to be asking me if I'm a robot or not. That is the question they want to ask me. Human being that is talking like this, they are still asking me I'm a robot. No, I'm not a robot, I'm an AI. So now if you look at it, you can see data entry. And you can even say entry level. For those of you that are just getting started, don't start with big things. Start from small. Build your credibility on this platform, right? Build your credibility. While you are building your credibility, make sure that you are avoiding people, all these people that are unverified. Make sure you are avoiding them. People that have spent money, those are the people you should only apply for. Do you understand? You can see a whole lot. Madam Claudine, they are looking for a virtual assistant, though, but the payment is not verified. Should I help you apply? Should I help you to apply? They are looking for virtual assistants, but the payment is not verified. Do you want? You will not talk now, Abby. All right. So you can see all these ones are just things that you can actually apply for, right? There are things that you can apply for. Now, let's say you don't want to use Upwork. You want to go into Fiverr. If you are going into Fiverr, my Fiverr account is not logged in on this mail. I use different mail for my Fiverr account. But here, let's just use the normal Fiverr, right? Let's say I'm going for data entry. Data entry, right? You are searching for data entry. Now you can see here, this is data entry. This person has gotten 642 gigs, right? Just on data entry. Just on data entry. This person is charging $20, right? This person is charging $20. And you can see a whole lot of them right here, right? You can see a whole lot of them right here. So you can see there are a lot of works on this. Now, let's say you are a digital marketer. You can create an Upwork account. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to all be rosy. As a freelancer, it's not every time you are going to be getting projects, right? But the very first thing is you need to build your credibility. Once you're able to build your credibility, you are going to be getting invites, right? You are going to be getting invites. Do you understand? So that is the very first source of my income, right? This is actually the very first way I make my money on freelancing platform. So I told you that I use Fiverr and Upwork. So you can try freelancing.com or People Per Hour. Sunset is not seeing my screen. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? Yes or no? All right. Are you still here? Are you people still here like this? Are you people still here? It's only one person. Where is my girlfriend? Where is that person that is begging me to marry her at that time? Where are you? I've forgotten the name of my girlfriend. Oh, Blessing. Sorry. Don't worry. We'll talk at the end of the webinar. We are here. How many people? Just small me like this. They are saying we. Take it easy, Oma. All right. The next thing is selling Excel templates. Right? Selling Excel templates. Now, selling Excel templates is something that I used to do before, but I don't do it again. Right? I actually don't do it again. And all these templates, you can use Access or use Gumroad. I used Gumroad before, but now I don't sell templates again. But there are some money, you can make some money from selling templates. Now, how do you get these templates? If you go to Excel, right, and you go to File, let's say someone wants you to create a budgeting template for them, right? Just come to this new and search for budgets. You can see budget here. So these are different templates on budgeting, right? All you just have to do is change the information, change the color, and you are good. This is what I used to do before, right? I used to do this before, but I don't do it again. That is selling templates. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about is what I'm doing, and I'm still doing it till now, and I'll still keep on doing it because I love it. That is teaching people online. Teaching people online. Now, let's say, for instance, you can't come out on Zoom like this, or you can't stand in front of the class. You can record a course and sell it. Now, when I first started, I was running ads on Facebook to sell my course. Now, there's Udemy. You can record a course. It's take you less than, when I recorded my first course, right, which is Excel, Ultimate Excel course, right, when I recorded it, it took me 3 weeks to do all recording. Every day, I was not doing any other thing, right? I was not doing any other thing. I was just recording every single day. I finished recording in 3 weeks. I did the editing myself. I do video editing too. All right, sorry, I did not mention it earlier, but I did the editing myself, right? Video editing is not hard. Just cut and join. You don't need to add too much things to it, right? Just cut and join. Simple, right? Just cut and join, record it and put it on Udemy, put it on Skillshare. You can even put it on YouTube, right? YouTube will pay you. By the time you have more, by the time you can monetize, they will start paying you. And you can also have private Zoom class like this or WhatsApp classes. I have a lot of people that are doing WhatsApp class, right? WhatsApp classes. You understand? So you can also sell it. You can record a course and start selling it too. Now, you can either use Zoom to record or you use what we call OBS Studio. So we can use OBS Studio also to record, right? You can use OBS Studio to record. So those are the three major ways of that I use to make money in Excel. Now let's go into the practical. Are we ready for the practical now? Are we ready for practical? Someone said it's breaking. Is that correct? Are we ready for our practical now? Before we go into question and answer section. Okay. The very first thing, I'm going to actually show you practical based on the one that has paid me more, right? The one that a lot of people usually put more money on is forecasting. Right? So how do we forecast in Microsoft Excel? How do we forecast? So to forecast in Microsoft Excel is very easy. So it's just like predicting also, right? It's like predicting also. So how do you do forecasting? So for instance, this is an organization that this is just a dummy data set, it's not a real life data set. But this is an organization that they are getting their sales by each quarter. For the very first quarter, which is 30th for 2012, this is the amount they are able to generate. For 31st of from fall, which is April till July, this is the amount they were able to generate. The same thing till October, this is the amount they were able to generate. Right now, they've been able to do that from 2012 to 2021, right? This is the amount they generated in 2021. Now they want me to forecast, right, till let's say 2025 or 2026. From 2021 now, we are doing forecasting from 2021 to 2026. How do we forecast? Now, forecasting is very, very easy to do with Excel. All you just have to do is highlight the data, then come to the data tab. Click on the data tab right here. You have this forecast sheet, right? Forecast sheet. Just click on it and put your forecast end here. The end date. I want the end date to be 2026, October 31st. 31st of October 2026. That is what I want. That is when I want the forecast to end. Now, there are still other things that goes into this, but because of our time, we won't be able to be going into it. But all I just have to do is click on create. Now, it's going to give me the chart for forecasting, right? This is the line chart that it's going to give me, right? We have the upper confidence and the lower confidence and the actual sales. So we have, this is the upper confidence, that is the highest sales, right? That is if they have all their stock, right? From here, that becomes orange like this. That is the forecasting. This blue one, that is the actual one that they gave us, the past data set that they gave us. But from this orange to this place, that is the forecasting. Now, let's see the result. If I'm to scroll down, you can see it here. Their data ends where? It ends in 31st of July 2021. So I started forecasting from 31st of July 2021. This is the forecasting result till 31st of October 2026. You can see it now. Can you see it? This is what the machine was able to forecast for them. Right? You remember when I was talking about prescriptive and predictive analysis? So what I just did now is an example of a predictive analysis, whereby you are predicting something. Do you understand? You are predicting something. So they pay a lot of money for this, right? The minimum I charge for forecasting, whether I'm writing code or I'm not writing code, is $50. That is the minimum I charge if I want to do forecasting for any organization. $50. If it's going into advanced, whereby I need to write machine learning code, I charge $200, $300 for just forecasting. They pay that. Now, another thing is data visualization. Data visualization. So basically, data visualization is a graphical representation of your data, right? So now, remember I was talking about table earlier. This is where we are going to use table now. Are you still here? Are you lost? Are you people still here? Let me know if you are here, if you are with me. You are lost. Linda, Linda said lost too. Don't worry. Don't worry, I will find you. Eh? Mr. Alex, I'm not finding you. I'm going to find Linda. Last also, if you are male, I'm not finding you. I'm only finding female. All right. Zainab, that is the name of my PA. All right. Let's move forward now. Let's say, for instance, I want to get, they asked me to get, let's say the total sales for, can you take that back? Don't worry, I will take it in the question and answer section. Do you understand? It's very easy to do. Let me delete it and take it again. Let me quickly delete it and take it again. So it's very easy to do, right? All you just have to do is highlight your data. But this is just the basic code. There's still more advanced thing, right? There are actually 3 ways of forecasting in Excel. But here now, I will just highlight this data, go to the data tab, the data that I want to forecast, go to the data tab, click on forecast sheet, and put when the forecast will end. So if I say, okay, I want the forecast to end in 2027, October 31st. October 31st, 2027. Just click on create, right? This will actually create it. Now you can see it will predict till 2027. Can you see it? It's going to predict till 2027. Now you can see the formula up here. So we have not spoken about the formulas, right? You can use the formula too. Wow, it's open VBA for me. We are not writing VBA. We are not writing VBA. So you can see here, right? You can see it right here. It's going to do the prediction for me. Now let's come here now. Now they asked me to get the total revenue for each month and put it in a visualization, in a chart. If you look at this, you can see that I only have dates, right? I don't have the month name, but they want to see the revenue by each month, right? So which means from this date, I need to extract the month name. They can say they want to see the revenue by each year. They want to see the revenue by each day. Do you understand? You can actually extract those information. Now I'm going to show you the difference between the reason why you need to have your data in a table, right? It makes your work a little bit slow if you don't have your data in a table. And I'm going to show you the reason, especially if you are working with formulas. So let's say I want to extract day name and month name here now. Right click and insert a new column. So I'll call this one day name, right? Let me see open VBA for me. Where's the problem? So here now, what I want to do is to extract the day name. So we are going to use a formula called text. I'll say equals to text, right? This is the date, and I want to extract day. So in quotes, I'll pass in D, 4D, right? We are still going to explain that more, but not now. So close my bracket. This, something is wrong. I need to close this data. I don't know why my formula is. Now, if you look at it, it just did it for, let me close this data and open it again. It's taking me to VBA, which is not what I want. Open this one. All right, let's back here. So right click, insert. Now, this is day name. I think I have the VBA open somewhere. Where is that? Okay, let's just leave it for now. right? So what I'll do here is I'll just say equals to text, right? This, comma, in double quotes. If I pass in D, double quotes, close my bracket and press enter. Something is, oh, I opened the module down. I don't have time for that. So now if you look at this, it just extracted the day name for me, right? It just extracted the day name for me. Do you get it? It just extracted the day name for me in one cell. Now look at what will happen if I have my data in a table. So if I just press Ctrl T, remember the keyboard shortcode, I said Ctrl T, or you go to insert and click on table. So for me, I'm going to just use Ctrl T and just press OK, right? So now let's do it again. So here I want to get day name, and I want to, come on, get lost. I want to get month name again. So month name, I'll go back to the VBA later, not now. I delete the module later. Oh, I open my sub down. Sorry. Let me remove the module. Yes. Close it. Thank you for coming. All right. My day name is going to be equals to good, because I closed my module now. Don't worry. All right. Close. Case closed. Thank you. Open. Good. That is one thing that I don't like working with VBA. Okay, it's actually bringing me here. I just see it now. All right, so let's go back here. Now, this is one thing that you're going to face if you're using VBA. And if you forget to close it, it's going to disturb you. So all I just have to do is, let me close this, my filter, Control T and OK, right? So I just want to insert 2 columns here. 2 columns here. And here, day name and month name. Now, remember when I did it, when my data was not in a table, it was just doing for one cell, right? Now, let's do it when my data is inside the table now. Equals to text. Now, look at what will happen now. Because now, remember I said a textual relationship, right? Comma, in double quotes, D, double quotes, close my bracket, press enter. Now you can see, it did it for everything, right? Everything. Now, if I'm to do month name, if I say equals to text again, equals to text. Now I want to extract month name, comma, in double quotes, double quotes, close my bracket and press enter. So you can see, right? To actually do it, everything at once. So now let's go into getting insights, right? So the insight they asked me to get is to put the total revenue for each month in a chart. So how do we do that? So let's go, we will now use pivot table here. So once I have my data in a table, we have something that we call contextual tab, in which I will explain later, not now because of our time. So all I have to do is click on summarize the pivot table. Just click on OK. And right here, now you can see what we call recommended pivots, right? You can see what we call recommended pivots. If I click on it now, you can see it start giving me insights, right? Insights, a lot of insights from my data sets, a lot of insights, whereby all I just have to do is just click on OK, and it's going to prepare it for me, right? But that is not what I want. I just drag month name in the row, then the revenue in the value. Simple as this. And they asked me to put it in a chart. Just click on pivot chart. I'm just going to go with the chart given to me. Then I click on OK. And here we have it. This is the total revenue generated by each month. Right? So now at this point, how many of you are having a headache? How many of you are feeling like this man now? At this point, before we go into question and answer section, how many of you are feeling like, wow, Akeem, I'm lost. I need to blow off my head. It didn't actually do much practical now. How many people? Let me know. Hmm? You are lost, Sarah. You are lost. Are you sure? I'm lost. You see, I'm in. You see, I seem to be in the wrong class. You are not in the wrong class. Don't worry. Oh, I'm too fast. Seriously, I'm lost. Now, let me tell you, it's not something, it's not a magic, right? It's not a magic. It's still a process, right? It's still a process. Now, let me ask a question before we move forward. So many of us here would love to become a pro at Excel and actually make money with it. Any of us here would love to become a pro and still make money with it, right? Okay. Now, the thing is, learning Excel is not something you can do in one day. You should know, right? It's not everything you can, it's not what you can do in one day. It's not what you can do in one day. So it takes a lot of practice, a lot of assignments, a lot of classwork, right? And it's not something we can just finish everything in one class. Do you understand? So, how many of you will love to be in my 6 weeks class? How many of you will love to be in my 6 weeks class? We have a 6 weeks class coming up, right? In my 6 weeks class. You want me to train you for the next 6 weeks. Now, the name of the class is called the Ultimate Excel Mastery and Income Blueprint. So basically, what I want to do is to show you how I actually use Excel, right? We're going to start from the total basics of Excel to advanced Excel and how I make money with it, right? How I use Excel and how do I make money with it. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of things here in this class, a whole lot of things in this class. So we are going to talk about from the total basics of Excel to advanced Excel, total basics of Excel to advanced Excel, total basics to advanced Excel. We are going to learn over 50 formulas. Now, today we talk about only 3 formulas, today, now, and text. Okay, we talk about if too. That is um, for formulas, right? So we're going to talk about data validation. How can you use data validation in this using in Excel, right? How to work with today, how to work with date and time function. How do we work with date and time functions, right? How do you clean data using Excel formulas, right? We have text functions that we use to clean Excel, that we use to clean data sets, right? Working with Microsoft Excel table and pivot table, working with charts, working with slicer and timeline, right? To make your dashboard responsive, right? So, data manipulation, dashboard creation, right? Forecasting with Microsoft Excel, how to create a resume. Now, if you're a freelancer, we have some clients that will ask you for resume, right? How do we create a resume, right? How to do forecasting with Microsoft Excel. Freelancing. How do you do freelancing? How to set up Fiverr and Upwork accounts. We are going to talk about it, right? Portfolio creation is a must for you to have a portfolio. Whatever you're doing, you must have a portfolio, right? So we talk about portfolio creation. We also talk about LinkedIn optimization. Your LinkedIn must be fully optimized. And I'll tell you the reason. That's because most of the clients, the moment they start giving you projects, they check your LinkedIn account to see what you are really into. So which means your LinkedIn must be fully optimized. How to optimize your LinkedIn account. Now, let me give you the benefits what you're going to get. Now, you remember I said I've recorded over 40 videos, right, that I was selling. But I'm going to give you for free, if you are joining this masterclass, all my recorded video on Excel. I'm going to give you for free. Now, you are going to get 6 weeks. Now, that video is just a support system. It's just a support system. The class is live class on Zoom every Friday and Saturday. The class is live class on Zoom every Friday and Saturday. So you are going to be getting a whole lot of data sets. You are going to get assignments. You are going to get projects and a whole lot more, right? You're also going to get done with few projects. And I'm also not the only one that will train you in this class. We have other experts that will train you from Digital World Tech Academy, right? You are going to meet Mr. Eke, you are going to meet Mr. Jide, you are going to meet Mr. Ife, right? And you're going to meet myself. For like 4 people or 5 that will train you. You are going to learn from different experts, right? So you are going to get certificate of completion at the end of the program. So the moment you get your final project with Excel, you are going to write exam, right? Then you get your certificate. Do you understand? LinkedIn optimization, how to record and sell your first course online. How do you do recording? How do you set up your first course online? We are going to talk about this in this 6 weeks class. How to apply for gigs, right? And you might get the opportunity to work with us directly, right? So, all right, these are testimonials from some of my existing students. Now, the question is, how much? I know that you will definitely pay, right? So now let me ask you a question. How much do you think I should charge you for this class? How much? For 6 weeks. For 6 weeks. How much do you think I should charge you? I'm waiting. Or I should go with my price? 5K. 5K is too small. How much do you think? I'm waiting, oh. I'm waiting for other people to talk. How much do you think I should charge you? Is it one person? 10K? All right. All right. 100K? Okay. All right. So we are wasting too much of our time. I'm not confusing you. I'm just telling you what people pay for, right? I'm showing you what people pay for. All right. How much am I charging you for this live class? How much am I charging you for this live class? So for this live class, it is 40,000 naira, right? But mind you, it is 40,000 for Nigerian. If you're in Ghana, it's 400 Ghana cedis. If you're in Cameroon, it's 14,000 CFA. But mind you, we are not taking in too much people, right? We are not taking it a lot of people. So I'm taking just 20 people tonight. The very first 20 people that will make payment tonight, I'm going to just collect 10,000 naira if you are in Nigeria. Just 10,000 naira if you are in Nigeria for the very first 20 people. If you are in Ghana, it's 100 Ghana cedis. And if you are in Cameroon, it's 4,000 CFA. For just 20 people. For the very first 20 people that will pay tonight. Now, for those of you that are making payments, you can make payments into Money Point, Digital World Tech Academy Online. This is the account number for the very first 20 people, right? If you're in Ghana, you can pay into the Voda Cash, right? If you're in Cameroon, you can pay into Momo. So once you make your payment, drop your payment proof in the group. Our admin will send you the registration form and add you to the paid class. Our admin will send you the registration form and add you to the paid class. This class is starting on Saturday. This Saturday that is coming, this Saturday, that is where we are going to start our first class. So the account number has been dropped in the group. This is the account number for Nigerian Money Point, Digital World Tech Academy Online, 549559192, right? If you're in Ghana, you pay into Voda Cash. If you're in Cameroon, you pay into Momo. Now, the account number has been dropped in the group. Now, once they send you the registration form, make sure you fill the correct information, right? You fill the correct information. Once you fill the correct information, you'll be added to the paid group. Then within 24 hours, you are going to receive access to LMS. So you are going to receive a receipt that looks like this, right? A receipt that looks like this. So once you receive this receipt, it's going to contain your email and the password that you're going to use to log in. So there are 2 ways of logging into your LMS. You can either click on Study Data Analytics, right? You can click on that. That should take you to the student login of Digital World Tech Academy, right? It should bring you to the student login. It's loading. yes, it should bring you to the student login, which is this one, right? Another way to get here is just go to Digital World website, digitalworldtech.academy, right? Then click on student login. Click on student login. So once you click on student login, the login details that you see on your mail, these login details, your email and your password, that is what you'll use to log in here. So you'll use it to log in. Just click on login. Once you click on login, now you can see for me, I have 3 courses here, but for you are going to have 1 because you are getting only data analysis, right? Now let me give you another bonus. For those of you that are paying tonight, you are going to get access to full data analysis course, which contains Excel, Power BI, and SQL, right? And if you click on my course, right? My courses rather. So you can say I have video editing, I have digital marketing, but for you, what you have is data analytics, right? So all you just have to do is click on study, right? Just click on study. It's just 10,000 naira. So now this is just a support, right? It's a support system, right? It's just for you to watch ahead of the class, to study ahead of the class. So you can start going through it one by one.
Yes. So welcome to the data analytics masterclass.
So this is
in today's masterclass, what we are going to focus on is customer service that is bad.
So this is
various statistical to
So this is introduction to data analysis. Then this is introduction to Microsoft Excel, right? So you can start going through it ahead of the class, right? So this one is loading.
Dealing mostly with all these practical aspects that I'm currently using, but there's something that is really it's actually a big formula, but for a startup, just need to.
So you're going to get access to all this, right? Now, if you look at it, all these are what you're going to get in Excel alone. All these are what you're going to get. So if you just want to watch it, just click on that, then you can play it, right? You can play it and start going through each of the.
I think I have, no.
So you can start.
It's equal to C cross and it's
so you can start going through them one by one, right? Then another thing is you are going to get Power BI. If you are part of the very first 20 people that will pay tonight, you are going to get Power BI as part of your LMS. You are going to get SQL as part of your LMS, right? SQL as part of your LMS. Another thing is you are going to get bonuses. How to create a portfolio, right? How do you create a portfolio? How to upload project on portfolio, resume, LinkedIn optimization, freelancing, and you're also going to get another thing. I'm coming. You are going to get another thing, which is Python Essential. How you can start writing your Python code, right? You are going to get access to that. I'm waiting for it to load. I think it's a bit of network. So, all right.
Oh, that's that. So, and I hope
so how you can be writing your own Python code, right? So how you can write your Python code. All these are what you will get if you are part of the very first 20 people that make payment tonight. All right, someone is saying have issue with LMS, right? I'm going to take it again. So you receive this email. Make sure that the registration form that was sent to you, you fill the correct information, right? Then you receive this email that looks like this, receipt for data analysis. You can click on study data analysis, or another way is go to our website, Digital World Tech Academy, click on student login, then the password and your password and email will be part of what you are going to receive, right? So once you are logged in, just click on my courses, Just click on my courses, then scroll down, click on study. You see study right here, right? Just click on study, then you can start going through the video one by one.
Stuff like that. But before I even show you what exactly is a cell, a cell block is.
This is I was explaining itself. So this is what you are going to get. Let me take one or two questions before we call it a day. Let me take one or two questions. If you have a question, let me take one or two questions before we call it a day. All right. Mr. Oladoye is raising hand. So please unmute.
Please, I need clarification on LMS, please.
Yeah, I just explained what is the problem.
But how can I log into LMS?
How can you log into LMS? I just explained it to you that.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
The network is breaking.
What about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Once you make your payment,
I can hear you very clearly.
Once you make your payment, make sure you fill the correct information, right? Make sure you fill the correct information. So you are going to see, you are going to see study. You are going to receive a mail that looks like this, that looks like this, right? Then you are going to do study data analysis.
I'm following you.
So study. So the login detail.
I'll click on it.
Yeah, the login detail will be part of the email you are going to receive. Your email and the password. So that is what you will use to log in. So once you log in, just click on my courses, right? Then you click on study. So you can start going through the video.
All right. I got it now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Let me take Mr. Abdul. Abdul, please unmute. Please unmute. But all this video is just a support system. The class is a live class. There is no any other payment. After the payment, you are not paying for any other thing again. After this payment, you are not paying for any other thing again. Mr. Abdul, please unmute. So the only thing that you need to have is make sure you have Microsoft Excel installed on your laptop.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, boss.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity and for what you have done this evening, sir. We are grateful, sir. My question is that after the program, are we going to get certificates?
Yes. Before you get the certificate, you are going to do project and you are going to write exam.
Okay, that is after the project and the exam.
Yes,
be satisfied.
Get the certificate. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have Mr. Elijah. Please unmute. So how many people do we have left? We have less than 15 people. Okay, we have less than 10 people left. Hello, go ahead. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks very much for today's lecture.
Welcome, sir.
We don't know. After today's lecture, right? You know, presently now the amount we're supposed to pay now is, you said 10,000, right?
Yeah.
Lecture.
Yes.
Okay, although the lectures is actually worth more than the money. Yeah, we really appreciate that. So now, what if we are not paying the money now? Like, how much are we going to pay?
Well, the actual price is 40,000. So if you are not part of the very first 20 people, the actual price is 40,000 for Nigerian. The actual price to join the class is 40,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can someone who don't have computer participate in the class after payment? Yes, you can join, because at the end of each class there will be a replay. At the end of each class there will be a replay. Do you understand? So you can join, but I will advise if you can get a laptop. And also, if you don't have a laptop now, you can join, but try as much as possible to get a laptop before the end of the program. It's very, very important for you to practice. Yes, you want to be part of the very first 20 people that paid tonight. All right. Is there any other question before we call it a day? Is there any other question before we call it a day? Any question from anybody before we call it a day? Mr. Abdul, do you still have another question? How do I install CGPA? No, you can't. You can't install it. This is a project that I worked on, right? This is a project that I worked on. So it's not part of the tab. This is a VBA project. Do you understand? It's a VBA project. So you are not going to have it. If you write the VBA code, that is when you will put it here. Do you understand? So you don't pay for certificates. You don't pay for certificates. Mr. Abdul, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Like you said that the first 20 people to pay 10K.
Yes.
These are the people that we pay 10K. Now, what if those 20 people did not complete today and we continue the payment tomorrow?
Once we have up to 20 people, we are going to let you know. But if the payment is still open tomorrow, then you will know. But if the payment is not open, then that means the price has gone back up to 40,000.
Okay, no problem. Let us know tomorrow, beg, sir.
All right.
We're grateful.
Yeah. So Mr. Adebayo is raising hand. Please unmute.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, boss.
Please, can I know where your office is?
Our office, we are located in Ikorodu, Lagos State. Where are you based? Hello?
Okay.
Where are you based? Hello, can you hear me?
Bagada.
Bagada. I used to say Bagada before, but I don't say Bagada again. Just send me a DM. I'll see if you can come around to our physical location.
Yes.
Just send me a DM if you need the address. I'll send it to you. Right.
All right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are we learning VBA too? No, we are not covering VBA in this 6 weeks class. VBA is a 3-month program on its own. You understand? But you need to be very good with Excel before we go into VBA. Please, I didn't hear what you were saying. We are commenting on who don't have. I said you can start without a laptop, but before the end of the program, I will advise if you can get a laptop, it will be of a good benefit. Do you understand? If you are part of the ongoing class, you don't have to join. No. If you are part of the ongoing class, you don't have to join. Do you understand? If you are part of the ongoing batch, you don't have to join. You should be in Excel by now, right? Mr. AK is the one taking you Excel, correct? Yes, if you don't have a laptop, if you are not planning to get a laptop soon, it is fine. You can still join. No knowledge is a waste, and LMS is yours forever. And you have my direct access. Do you understand? Whenever you get a laptop, you can start practicing. And if you have any question, you can go through it. Do you understand? If you have any question, you can always go through the LMS and reach out to me. Do you understand, Queenie? So that's that. The LMS is yours forever. Is it possible to get today's recording? Yes, I'll drop it in the group. Magnificent, please unmute. Magnificent, please unmute. I'll take one more question before we call it today. One more question before we call it today. The class is starting on Saturday. The class is starting on Saturday. Magnificent, please unmute. I've allowed you. Yeah, you can talk now. Magnificent, you can talk now.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Please, there was a mix-up here. You said if you are still on the ongoing class, you may not join the program.
Yeah, we have our last batch is still ongoing. So I'm talking about an existing student. Do you understand?
Okay, because I am in that class, that was why I'm just confused. The
Okay,
one
you
that
are
you are
in that
seeing
class.
there with me.
You are
Yeah.
there, right? So you don't have to join this one.
Yeah.
You don't have to join this one. You can't take the two together. You don't have to join this one. Do you
Okay.
understand? Yeah.
That means they will cover. Are they going to cover this data analysis issues on the class we're in?
Yes, we are going to cover data analysis with Microsoft Excel. So you have already started with introduction to Excel, right?
Yes.
You are in formula now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you are going to, after formula, you will go into data analysis and visualization. Do you understand? Yeah, don't worry, I will be the one, I will take your class.
Okay.
Once you are done with formulas, you're going to see me in your class.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let me take Boniface. Boniface, please unmute. Yes, I'll drop the replay in the group. Boniface, please unmute. No problem, no problem, no problem. Mr. Abdul, if you message me, I might be in a class, but you can just give me a call. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, what I want to know, you see, if I pay the 10,000 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And can you please just give us details of what we are supposed to get for you?
The only thing you need to get is your Excel on lap. Just get Microsoft Excel. Once you have Microsoft Excel, every other thing you are going to learn it in class. Just make sure that you have Microsoft Excel installed on your laptop.
Okay, what I'm saying is that when is the class is going to start?
The class will start on Saturday by 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. That is 7:30 p.m.
Oh, it's going to start
time.
it's going to start this Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time, 7:30 Ghanaian time.
Okay, what I'm saying is that we have to pay the 10,000 now.
Yes, to join the class. Yes.
We have to pay the 10,000 to join the class.
Yes.
So if we pay into this, we pay into money points.
Yeah.
Okay.
You drop your payment.
How do we get the receipt?
You drop the receipts in the
Hello?
group. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? You drop your receipts in the group.
If I pay, I put the receipt in the where?
In the group, in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, in the WhatsApp group. That is okay. Okay. Okay, in the WhatsApp group. Okay, we'll drop the receipt on the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then our admin will confirm your payments, then tell you what to do next.
Oh, okay. The admin will confirm the payment and tell us what to do next.
Yes.
So you said the first 20 people pay tonight will be 10,000.
Yes.
So what if we pay tomorrow?
The price becomes 40,000.
Oh, the price becomes 40,000.
Yeah, the actual price to join the class is 40,000.
Oh, but those who pay tonight is 10,000.
Yes, for those that will pay tonight.
Okay. 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 Let me see. Okay. Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
You're
so
welcome.
What of the? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I beg.
All right. So can it be like 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time? No, we cannot do 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time because some people might still be at work on Friday. You understand? It's Friday and Saturday. You understand? So if you make it 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time, some people might still be at work. So that is why we said 8:30 p.m. to 10 or 10:30. That depends on what we are covering. Do you understand? If it is Ghana, it's 7:30. If it is Cameroon, it's also 8:30 p.m. So that people will be back from work already, they will be relaxed. You know, if you want to learn, you have to be relaxed, you have to be in a good form for you to be able to learn something. You understand? So that is that. Were you able to learn anything in today's class? Were you able to learn anything in today's class? Yes or no? Were you able to learn anything in today's class? Yes or no? All right. That is great. I hope to see you in class on Saturday by 8:30 p.m. I hope to see you in class where we are going to start with our orientation, talking about the course outline and everything you are going to learn. All right. Thank you very much. Yes, but confusing. Now, what I'll do for you is I will drop the replay in the group, right? Try to replay the slide, the data set I'll use. I'll drop everything in the group. Try to go through everything, right? If you have any question, feel free to send me a DM or give me a call if you don't understand. Just feel free to send me a DM or give me a call if you don't understand. Do you understand? So, how many weeks? It's 6 weeks. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. It's for 6 weeks. Hope you got a girlfriend. Yeah. Blessing is here. Don't worry. Blessing is here. I have a girlfriend now. All right. Thank you very much. Blessing, don't worry. Just pick a date for our wedding. What we are learning is Excel. We are starting from the total basic to advanced Excel. Do you understand? This is my WhatsApp number, and you can also pick my number from the group. Do you understand? You can also pick my number from the admin. I'm one of the admin in the group. So you will see my DP, there is data science flyer there. Do you understand? Just pick my number from the group. All right. Thank you very much, and hope to see you in class on Saturday by the special grace of God. Have a wonderful night rest and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye, and we'll see you in class on Saturday. Good night and enjoy the rest of your day.